Hello my friends, today we will take a look at Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Sony smartphones are becoming quite a popular topic nowadays. Google went back to mid-range with Pixel 5, and a lot of Android users are getting tired of Samsung's maximalist approach to Galaxy series. Sony kind of went under the radar for some time with their Xperia smartphones. Fortunately, their latest Mark II smartphones use proper high-end hardware, and they are ready to compete with any flagship on the market. Besides that, they offer a lot of camera technology based on their excellent A7 and A9 mirrorless cameras. The first part of this video will be my user experience review of Xperia 1 Mark II, and the second part will be a dedicated camera review. The most striking thing about 1 Mark II is actually the shape. It has 6.5-inch screen with 21:9 aspect ratio. I actually think that it makes sense. It is more manageable with one hand and ideal for using two apps at the same time. On the other hand, if you mostly watch 16:9 content, you will get quite substantial black bars on the sides. The thickness of 1 Mark II is just 7.6mm, which makes it one of the thinnest high-end smartphones on the market. It is also remarkably light at 181 grams. It still uses a glass sandwich and the frame has very nice finishing. It is also IP68 water resistant. Xperia 1 II is probably one of the last smartphones that offer 3.5mm jack. I use wireless headphones, so I usually don't care, but in this case I do care. That is because it is also a mic input jack, which is a very important feature for smartphone filmmaking. One more physical thing that I greatly appreciate is that the SIM card/SD card tray can be removed simply by using a finger. That is very convenient for those who prefer importing pictures from SD card. The display has 3840 by 1644 resolution and pretty crazy 643 pixels per inch density. At that pixel density, it is obviously extremely sharp. You will be able to read the text in direct sunlight, but most competitors offer significantly higher brightness, especially Apple and Samsung. The refresh rate is 60 Hz. To be honest, I don't care much about higher rates on smartphones. I don't play smartphone games much, so I'm completely fine with 60 Hz. There is a lot of HDR modes and even creator mode from Bravia televisions. The color accuracy is also excellent, so despite that lower peak brightness, it is still an excellent display. Xperia 1 Mark II uses Snapdragon 865 paired with 8GB of RAM. This is a proper high-end 7nm system on chip. Everything is extremely fast, the apps load with very short delay, and it is great for mobile gaming. Overall, the performance of 1 Mark II is excellent. 1 Mark II runs Android 10. Sony chose a very minimalistic approach, so it is very close to stock Android. There is almost no bloatware at all. These are actually all of the apps pre-installed on the phone. This is exactly the way I prefer it, so big thumbs up for minimalistic approach to Android user interface. The primary way of unlocking the device is a fingerprint sensor integrated in on-off button. It is very fast and completely reliable. I also find this placement much more convenient than on the back of the device. 1 Mark II uses a 4000 mAh battery. During my testing, I was able to get through a day of camera-heavy usage on a single charge, which is a good result. Of course, there are smartphones with larger batteries, but considering that this is one of the thinnest flagship smartphones, I think that it is a good compromise. So with all of the smartphone stuff out of the way, let's move on to the cameras. Xperia 1 Mark II uses triple camera setup and some advanced technologies known from their Alpha series cameras. The choice of the focal lengths is actually quite interesting. The main camera uses a 24mm equivalent lens, which is wider than with most smartphones. I like 24mm focal length a lot, so I approve, but it probably is a little bit less versatile. Ultra-wide lens uses usual 16mm equivalent, which is probably the most common choice. The telephoto lens is 70mm equivalent, which really is a short telephoto, unlike 50mm on iPhones. It is probably less all-round usable in comparison with a 50mm lens, but it is also less generic looking and ideal for portraits. All three cameras use 12-megapixel sensors. After using some phones with huge amount of megapixels, I am still very confident that 12 megapixels is still the best choice for smartphone camera. The main camera uses 1/1.7-inch type sensor, which is much larger than 1/2.55-inch type commonly used in smartphones. It is paired with f1.7 lens, which means that it lets in a lot of light. The main camera has relatively large pixels and lower pixel density, which means that it shoots very detailed stills for a smartphone. Dynamic range is probably the most impressive though. The amount of information that you can extract from highlights and shadows is again getting closer to 1-inch sensor cameras. That gives you a lot of creative options if you shoot in RAW format and edit your pictures. Ultra-wide camera uses 1/2.55-inch type sensor, which is commonly used as the main sensor in other smartphones. It also has a relatively wide f2.2 aperture. Thanks to that, Xperia 1 Mark II also takes some of the best ultra-wide shots of all smartphones. It can't match the main sensor in terms of details, but it makes up for that with a dramatic field of view. The telephoto camera is the least impressive out of the three, but it is still very nice to have. The image quality is pretty nice, but it can't match the other two. To be honest, I would probably prefer something around 50mm. 70mm is in my opinion a bit too tight, although it is very suitable for portraits. Due to the smaller sensor and darker aperture, I would recommend avoiding the telephoto lens in low light. A common strength of all three cameras are the colors. Sony is going for more neutral colors, much like with their mirrorless cameras. They don't rely that much on HDR processing either. They use very good sensors, so they can take advantage of that and offer more naturally looking output. Xperia 1 II can also shoot 4K video up to 60p. The overall result depends a lot on the app that you use to do so. With the stock app, you will get nice footage with a reasonable amount of sharpening. Just like the stills, videos also look a bit less digital in comparison with other smartphones. The colors in video are also more on the realistic side. As I've explained, I definitely prefer it that way. The performance in stills and video is generally very well balanced on 1 Mark II. That is again a benefit of using 12-megapixel sensor, which doesn't require pixel binning or line skipping. The autofocus on 1 Mark II is great. It uses dual pixel technology and the autofocus is extremely fast and accurate. The eye tracking is very impressive. I really love this feature on Sony cameras and I can say that it works just as well on Xperia 1 Mark II. The autofocus is also great in video. There it works with no issues and the transitions are also very smooth. Another great feature carried over from Sony Alpha cameras is the speed. 1 Mark II can shoot up to 20 frames per second in RAW. That is the same as A9 II flagship DSLM camera or premium compact camera RX100 Mark VII. 1 Mark II also has two special camera apps. For stills, there is Photo Pro app. It is made to be familiar for Sony Alpha users, and I can say that it is great. It contains all of the settings that you can ask for. It even lets you choose exposure mode like on DSLM camera. This app also supports RAW capture. Everything is very easy to set and it might be the best camera app for advanced users that I've ever tested. The other app is Cinema Pro, and to be honest, that is in my opinion a bit too much. Not that many people know what shutter angle is, and those who do probably don't want to control that on a smartphone. It only shoots 21:9 video. I think that it should have been an option instead of a requirement. There are some interesting looks, but those require post-production. Digital stabilization is also not available. I just recommend using Filmmaking Pro instead, which is a better all-round app with better output. If you do so, you will get very nice footage. To sum up, Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is a refreshingly old-school Android flagship. It uses great high-end hardware and it combines it with light Android build. On the top of that, it adds some features borrowed from Sony's other divisions to enhance the display and the cameras. Instead of overloading the phone with marketing gimmicks, it focuses on the core performance. That reminds me of the golden era of Android and now extinct HTC smartphones. I think that this is the right way to compete with iPhones. Basically, the only thing that I can complain about is the screen brightness. Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is in my opinion the most tastefully done Android flagship of 2020, which is the reason why I highly recommend it. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.